Hey everybody, it is Bethany Briggs. Here we are, Mindful Moments class, where I teach healthy coping mechanisms for your longevity, flexibility, mobility, and overall health that with consistency becomes who you are and a lifestyle. So today we're going to do a full body mobility routine. It could be 5 minutes or less, or you could do it longer. If that feels good for you, make it your own. And remember, through all of these different stretches that we're going to be doing, please listen to your body. Please listen to your body. Make sure you don't hurt yourself. I can't feel your body. You have to feel it yourself. So don't push yourself too far to where you hurt yourself. You got to take care of you. So today we're going to do 8 different stretches. Your joints will thank you for this. This is something you could do every day. And you're going to go through your full body and do everything with it. We're going to do downward dog. And when you're doing the downward dog, we're going to walk the dog or do like a bicycle walk. And this is helping with your backside, your whole backside. And you're targeting your hamstrings. And then they're going to go into cat-cows. And this is going to help with spine movement and your blood flow along with back and so many other benefits. Then we're going to go into thoracic rotations. This is going to help side body, shoulders, chest. It's an amazing, amazing movement. Then we have the 90-90 stretch. And these things I'll tell you, I'll show you how to do them. But the 90-90 stretch opens the hips and helps with your rotation in your body. Then we're going to go into a reverse tabletop. You're stretching your chest and strengthening your glutes as well. Then we're going to go to a seated forward fold, a seated spinal twist, right and left side, and then end with a butterfly stretch. So there are 8 different movements. Like I said, this is 5 minutes or less, so we're not going to sit in it too long. We're going to go through it pretty quickly, but you can do this on your own as that is homework, to do this throughout this, starting today and go through next week till Friday, or maybe continue on and do this every day. If you really like it, I will post notes. So it'll be easy to grab this and go and do it on your own pace, because you can make it longer, shorter. It's really up to you. But like I say, listen to your body. Don't hurt yourself. And if there's something that you feel like it's hard for you to do, just do your best. But like I said, I really don't want you to hurt yourself. And then also I encourage you to look at the disclaimer that I post on these as well. So let's get started. I have my little notepad here. So we're going to start out. Let's just do some deep breathing to get us into our place. So we're going to breathe in and breathe out at your own pace, going deeply or just natural breathing. Breathing in and breathing out. Let it out. Do it one more time. Breathing in. And we're going to breathe it out. Alrighty, so getting into that downward dog. How I like to start downward dog is hands, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. And I like to just bring out my hands, handprint up, and then bringing your toes down like this. We're going to go out a little farther so you can see me. We've done downward dogs. And then you just want to lift your hips up. Now, downward dogs, there's certain ways to do them, but I just want you to take this kind of at your own pace, what feels good for you type thing. It could be a somatic movement more. And we're just going to hold here. Now this is where we walk the dog. Like this. Your main thing is you want to bring your belly into spine and you want to lift your hips up. And we're walking the dog or doing a bicycle as we're in this downward dog. Breathing, making sure to breathe through every stretch that we do. Now we're going to go down into that cat-cow. So pretty much how we started class. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. And you're going to breathe in, go into your cow. around, and then exhale, going into cat, rounding your spine up. And we'll do this a few rounds before we go into the thoracic rotations, which are really great. Breathing in and breathing out as you move through the motions. Now with what we're doing, it might be a little longer than 5 minutes, only because I'm instructing. But when you go about this on your own, you might find that it takes you less time. It just really depends on how many times and how long you stay in each posture, each stretch. Whether you want to move around with it a little bit. Maybe you just don't have a lot of time and you just want to do each stretch. Making sure to at least breathe, I would say like 2 to 3 times. Full inhales and exhales through each movement at least. So now going into thoracic rotations. And I know there's other names for this, but this is the name that I have for it that I learned. So I'll show you on the right side first, and then we'll go on to the left side. So what you're going to do is kind of bring up your arm like a wing. You want to, stay in that tabletop. And then you want to just stretch up and then bring it down. Kind of like thread the needle in a way, but you're not threading the needle. And maybe that's what you want to do instead. You want to thread the needle, you bring your arm up and then bring it underneath and then bring your shoulder down. Maybe that's an easier one for you. We're just going to do this a couple times. Breathing in and breathing out. This also helps with a little bit of strength as well, strength training. Now doing that onto the other side, bringing your arm up like a wing, breathing in as you go up with it, and exhaling as you go down. Inhale up and exhale down. Maybe you want to do that. Thread the needle, if that's the case. This is the front side of it. So 2 different ways that you can do this, depending on where your range of motion and what you can do it. Now we're going to go into the 90-90 switch. So we're going to sit down. And with 90, so you're going to have your legs like 90-90, like this. And you're just going to go back and forth with it. Right to left. Hands behind you. You could put your chest out a little bit to do like a little chest opener. And just going back and forth, making sure to breathe. I know this is a really great one. I did it not this morning, but yesterday morning. It really opened up my body. And you can do this before bed. You can do it midday. You can do it in the morning. You can do it a couple times a day if that feels good for you. You can add to it. You can take stuff out. Make it your own. And just making sure to breathe through each stretch or posture, movement. Connecting breath to body, help you be in the present moment. All right, so now we're gonna go into the reverse tabletop. So the one that we were doing the cat-cows in, the thoracic rotations, that was the regular tabletop. Reverse tabletop, flip upside down in a way, and you do it backwards. So bringing your hands behind you like this, and you wanna just lift your hips up. You wanna make sure your wrists are underneath your shoulder, your knees are underneath, your feet are underneath your knees. And just hold this. You can kind of come down and then come up if you would like, if that's easier, or you can just hold the reverse tabletop. Making sure to breathe. Maybe you want to bring your head back a little bit. Maybe you want to go from front to back. Kind of just playing around with these different poses and just making sure that you listen to your body and don't do anything that's going to cause any injury or any pain. We're here for a healthy coping mechanism to help our body, not to hurt ourselves. And that is where it comes in for you, where you do the things that are going to be good for you. If I'm doing something ever and you're like, I can't do that, I would just do something else, Alrighty, so that was the reverse tabletop. Now we're going to go into a seated forward fold. We've done this one before. Breathing in, extending your hands like you're trying to touch the ceiling, and then bending forward. Maybe you touch your toes. Maybe you can't get that far yet. I know in the mornings for me, forward folds are harder. And so, you know, just find where you're at. Maybe all you can do is bring your hands to your shins, your knees. Maybe just a slight bend forward. Maybe you can go past your feet. Or maybe you need some straps. Or you can do a towel where you loop it around your foot and you just kind of hold, like you pull yourself forward as much as you can, as long as you don't hurt yourself. So doing the forward fold. And then we're going to go into the seated spinal twist. You can do these two different ways, where I'm going to do it with one of the legs extended, but you can do it in an easy pose and do a spinal twist like that as well. We're going to do it seated with one leg extended. And I'll show you how. Making sure to breathe. So we're going to take this right leg over. And this is where, if this is hard for you, you could do the easy seat and just do your twist like this. So with this, bringing your leg over like this. And you want to hook your elbow over to the other side of your knee. So I like to start out breathing in, extending the spine, and then twisting like this. When I go to the other side, you'll see it a little bit more clearly. But maybe you don't want to do this, so you just do this easy seat twist that I showed you before you get into this. Same benefits, just different way of doing it. Or you could do this laying down even. All right, switching sides. So hooking that, see how my knee, my elbow's on the other side of that knee, and twisting. Making sure to breathe. And then after this, we're going to go into a butterfly stretch. And that is our full body mobility routine. Alrighty. So now going into that butterfly, bringing your feet together. Now I've mentioned in the past, but if this is your first class with me, where you put your feet is up to you. I'm more flexible, and so I can bring my legs more into my groin. Now maybe you can't do that. That's okay. So find where your diamond is. I like to call this a diamond. And maybe you're way out here. That's okay. But with consistency with doing this, you can find that you get more flexible. And maybe some days you're not as flexible as the other day, and that's okay too. So meet yourself where you're at. And we're just gonna hold here. The butterfly, you can flap your legs like butterfly wings. Or if you wanna make this go deeper with it, you can do a forward fold, come down. Maybe you don't come down onto your forearms, maybe just stay on your hands. Maybe you go down all the way, where you bring your head down to your hands. Find where you're at, where your flexibility is. If you're not able to get down this far, please don't. I don't want you to hurt yourself. So you got to listen to yourself, listen to where you're at, and just hold. You know, with consistency, this is another one where you can go deeper, just like where you have your diamond. You know, when you go with any of these, the more consistent you are with it, the deeper you can go. But it's also important to remember that each day our bodies are going to feel a little different. So maybe we're not as flexible one day, and that's okay. The point is to do this stuff every single day to help your body. It's like giving thanks to your body. God gave us these beautiful temples. And when we do our healthy coping mechanisms, it's like bringing gratitude to him, saying like, thank you for creating me. Thank you for creating me in your image. And, you know, I'm showing thanks by taking care of this temple that you gave me. So coming on up. So that is the end of it. But as I like to always close class, come into an easy seat, or maybe you want to lay down into a meditative practice wearing corpse pose at the end, depending on where you're at in your day and how you're feeling. But we're just going to close out with some deep breathing. So breathing in and breathing out at your own pace. Making these be your deepest inhales and exhales that you've done all day so far, or all morning, or wherever you're at. Inhale. Making sure your shoulders are away from your ears, and exhaling when you're ready. Now, for the third time, breathing in. And breathing out. I hope you enjoyed class. If you found this to be helpful, please share it. You never know who you're going to help. Let me know how you feel. You could let me know in the beginning and the end, depending on where you're at. But we're going to close out with a little prayer. I got this amazing prayer book from the church that I'm attending, and I wanted to do a prayer with you guys from it. It's called the Lutheran Prayer Book, and it's just really amazing. And I want to do Psalms 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Amen. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you guys. And as we're here, I have changed this class to being Fridays. And the reason why is because when I changed it to Thursday at the beginning of the year, I think I did that, or as the end of last year, I can't remember exactly. I had Thursdays as more consistent. And then as life goes on, changes happen. I noticed I couldn't be as consistent on Thursday, so I had to make it more of a when I'm available, I'll be on. And that just, for people with your schedules, you don't know when I'm going to be live, so it can make it harder to join class. So I figured Fridays. I'm always available at 12:30 p.m. around that time, between 12 and 1. And so moving into Fridays makes it more consistent, so when class is going to be. And if you can join live, great. If not, remember the replay is always here. But here on Facebook, these lives are only here for 30 days. But YouTube, they're always up, so you can always come back. But your homework is to do this throughout the weekend and going into next week. And then I'll see you next Friday around this time. Around 12:30-ish, I think it's a good time for me. And, get back into that consistency of knowing when class is going to be. And I me, I'm about consistency. And so it's kind of like a battle. Like I was trying to be more flowy with it, but I like consistency. So I think this is better. It's better for me, and I hope it's better for you. And if not, you can always do the replay. And, I hope you have an amazing, amazing day. God bless you. May you breathe and know that you got this. Shine bright and be you. You are you, you're made in God's image. You are beautiful the way you are. And know that you got this. I'm going to close with the Lord bless us and keep us. The Lord make his face shine upon us and be gracious unto us. The Lord lift up his countenance upon us and give us peace. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. And that is it for today. So I encourage you to come back to this class, practice it, or you can take the class notes and do it on your own. But let me know what you thought. I'll see you around. I hope you have a blessed day. But I'll see you next Friday. See you soon. Sending all love.